Welcome to the Let's Get Blunt podcast. I believe we are on episode 17, where we roll up something sweet, we pull up a seat, and we get blunt about our healing. This is, I believe, the second or third episode that we have the new format where we're doing soul code readings. It's very similar to previous formats, except it's just a little bit more strategic. So I did have a talk with our guests offline about their intentions. However, this is the first time we've interacted in this type of way. Let's first sponsor Golden Earth Botanics. As always, alternative dispensary focused on healing. Everything from libido enhancement to third eye activation and things of that nature. Go and get that. All CBD and terpene-based healings, no THC, all healing. All right, my loves, and today we have Mrs. Julie Young. You can introduce yourself.
I'm Joelle Crawford-Persofsky. I'm really happy to be here.
And tell people a little bit about yourself and how you show up in the world.
I like to say I grew leaders for a living. A lot of people talk about my energy, so I show up with a lot of energy, and I am happily married. It's cool that this is episode 17 because our anniversary is 7/7/17.
It always works. There's always some synchronicity on every show.
I'm a Pisces. I am the youngest of 4 women. Born and raised in New Jersey, still living in New Jersey, but I'm in South Jersey now. And I'm a plant mama. I've got 4 plants, George, Wheezy, Helen, and Tom. Those are our plants. So no kids, dinks, dual income, no kids. I'm a coach. I'm a speaker. I'm a podcast host. And I'm a writer because I got my book in the background. I'm always
human design. Are you a manifesting generator?
I feel like I am, but I didn't put that title to me.
Oh, you haven't.
I didn't own it, but I guess I should own that then.
Yeah, the human. Yeah, we got to figure out where's your human design because that's also important. But like, you're probably a generator or a manifesting generator. Because we don't turn off. If we do all the things, we have like 1,000,001 things under our belt that we tend to do. And that will put you in the Aslan category. I think we had 1 Phoenix and 2 Aslans thus far. So that puts you in the Aslan category of just all over the place.
Yes.
The brain is scattered. People like to think of Aslan as a punishment, but it's not a punishment. It's just what is. There's no right or wrong. Like archetype. It's just how you show up. And so Aslan, she has a tendency to try all the things, but she wants she needs to see it moving.
Yes.
It ain't moving, like it ain't doing shit. Let's scrap that. Let's go on to the next thing. So Aslan always has a plan after the plan after the plan after the plan.
That's
right.
It's like
and so Aslan's issue is she never sits still long enough to see things work. If they need action, like if it needs lead up to the action, that's hard for her because she needs to see results. I need to see results. And so something that can help you just as an overall, before I even dig into your energy, is to have certain metrics or things that you know needs to happen. Like that big goal, have very obtainable objectives built in so that you can feel like you're moving.
Yeah.
And like so you can literally, I'm sure you got a checklist somewhere. I know you do because you're an athlete. You have a checklist. But then she on the list and be like, this is what I needed. Because Aslan needs help bringing all this inward.
Yeah.
Right? Like you said, I have all these things and the pieces, but how do they fit together?
Mm-hmm.
That's Aslan's issue. It's just she has all the pieces and they all feel good to her.
Mm-hmm.
But how do I smush this shit together? Like there's something missing. And we're going to figure out what those cycles are, because that's what the soul code reading does. We're going to dig in and figure out what sequences are tripping, should I say, and not giving the desired result. And then we're going to figure out why. And then we're going to mitigate it. I'm either going to give you a workaround or I'm just going to eliminate the code. So in that's cord cutting. And so it may, like I said, that's why I say it may look like I'm not doing work, because we chit chat and then I'm just moving my hands, but that's how I work. So,
I'm so excited.
So I'm gonna get started.
Okay.
And so root chakra is Aslan shows up just anxious. She's just anxious energy, right? And so with Aslan, we have to bring her all the way in. And so we're going to have to get you in your body. Because you probably, don't have a lot of memories. It's just like when you think back on things, it feels like a long time ago, even if it was last week. Yes. Because we're not in our bodies. We're kind of in a dissociated state. And I say we because sometimes I live there, right? So it is, we're not in our bodies. And so anything to get you in your body is something that you need to partake in and have as part of your lifestyle. That can be going for a walk. I have yoga. That can be dancing. It can be playing music. Anything to get you out of here and into here, into the body. Because that's where your signals are. And that's why you don't feel them or see them, or because you're not in down here, you're up here.
Always.
But the signals are down here. So it's just like, which way am I supposed to go? You're not getting that internal guidance because you're up here and you're probably having insomnia, racing thoughts, sinus issues, like all that stuff, because it's just so cloudy up here.
Yep.
But I already see a blockage here, so we're going to deal with that. Root chakra. Root chakra, it feels good. What I will say is what they're showing me is a mirage, which means, and how I'm going to interpret it is, you're stable, yet you will convince yourself that you're not. Right? You will convince yourself that at any given moment, all this can disappear.
Yep.
And so you never are able to kind of sit in and enjoy what you've built, because you're always trying to implement something in case something else happens.
That's right.
And so, again, you're that plan after plan after plan after plan. Like, I'm going to buy this house, right? And then as soon as you get in the house, you're like, I need 10 months mortgage in the account, like, period. Then you're going to get the 10 months mortgage, right? And then you're going to be like, I need a reserve account just in case. Like, it never fucking stops. And that's the thing. And so what I will tell you that you're going to need to do is bring yourself back in moments, right? When you see yourself planning for the plan to fail, or it's okay to have, this is how I desire it to go. And if it doesn't, every time, without fail. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So you can have, this is what I desire to do. This is what we can implement in the, like, just in case, because I mean, we always should have a fail safe. There should be not one single point of failure, but we shouldn't be planning past the backup plan. You know,
all right. Only one plan B. Okay.
Yeah, because the thing of it is keeping you in this constant state of anxiousness and anxiety, which is an Aslan trait. But if we're always in the future, then we're never present. And anything that we're building to enjoy, we will never be able to enjoy because we're not in the present. We're there. So when you're like, yeah, the vacation and do what? Exist. Oh, like imagine that. Imagine just being able to exist in what you already put in the work for. And so we're denying ourselves happiness for some future version of ourselves that we don't even know if that's going to be there.
Right.
In 5 to 10 years. Right. So it's like, I'll be happy when I do this. I'll be happy when this happens. And I'll be happy when that happens. And it's just like, you're never going to be happy. Because as soon as you get it, your Aslan is going to make another goal. Because that's how Aslan shows up. It's just, I'm going to reach that goal and I'm going to make another goal. And so when I asked you earlier, why are we doing all this? I saw the exasperation on your face. You're like, fuck, I never even saw it. I never even sat down to think about now. I'm not working so fucking hard. Like, what is the end result?
Yeah.
And we need to get clear on that end result. Otherwise, we're going to keep chasing.
Yeah.
And that's not a good place to be. Because we're going to end up one day realizing we were never happy. And we don't want that day to be the day that we don't have a time to shift.
Yeah.
And alter. Right? And so you have a very solid foundation from what I see. And you don't have current reason to believe that otherwise. There is, it may not be your own, but you're like, I don't want that struggle. So I don't know if you grew up in struggle or you watched struggle and you're like, I don't want no parts of that shit for myself, so I'm gonna do shit, bro.
It's struggle, a financial struggle. Absolutely. I don't want it.
Was it yours or was it like, were you in it as a child?
As a child, yeah. I didn't know it at the time, but there was some financial stress, anxiety going on.
You didn't have control.
Mm-mm.
And so now you do. And so you're like, I am never going to feel that feeling of not being able to do what I want to do ever again. But in that, you're denying yourself to do the things that you want to do because you have an obligation to this future version of yourself. So we're literally in the same predicament. It just looks different. And there's a fly. Flies always come. That means it is one of our people's. Because it's right here. And it's going to bug me like a big one, too. I needed to sit down. I needed to sit down. I know you see it. Yep. It's
the size of your fingernail.
So, that is something that's plaguing you.
Yeah.
Are you ready to release that? Because I can release it for you. That's something I can release for you.
Yes, I know. From that.
Because I think it's affecting things now, too, where it might be investments or things that you need to do for yourself that you are like, you're not in a position to do, even though you have the means to do it. It just feels like I'm not in a position to do it because that's going to take away from it doesn't even feel like your savings account. It feels like it's going to take away from the backup to the savings. And like,
Yes.
It's like, come on.
Yeah.
We have it. Like, this is why you're doing what you're doing. This is why you're working so hard. This is why you're pushing so hard. You're pushing so hard to afford the resources to be able to navigate life the way you need to navigate life. Holding on to the resources isn't going to give you the life you desire if the life you desire requires the resources.
Right.
And so now you are still putting yourself where you're comfortable. You're still living out the financial constraints, even though you don't have them.
Right.
Actually.
You're right.
Right? And so one thing they're going to push you to do is buy something that's purposeless. Because you validate, everything has to mean something.
Yes.
Every action you do, everything you purchase, like, I want a new pair of shoes. And it's just like, okay, they need to be able to do this, and then I can validate paying $100 for them.
Right.
If they're just pretty and I want them, I can't have that.
Right. There has to be a reason.
But that's also coming from the financial constraints, because we always had to have a reason to buy things.
Right.
So it wasn't just I wanted it, because that's not a good enough reason. When the resources are small.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not your reality now.
No, it's not.
And so this week, I am going to want you to go do something frivolous. Now, I'm not saying go blow $1,000, right? You know, but $100 on a really cute hat, a really bespoke, handmade, like, hat off Etsy, right? Or some handmade earrings or something curated, really special. Like, this would feel so good to me. Not for somebody else, but for you, because you'll spend money on other people. That's not it. Yeah, you will spend money on other people. That's not, it's for yourself. To adore yourself and have no other purpose. It's not going to make you money. It's not going to be, it's not going to be an investment. It's going to be something that you just get to enjoy. It can be a meal. It's just, I'm going to go out and I'm going to treat myself to a fancy dinner. Or me and my husband, we're going to go on a fancy dinner. We're going to get all dressed up and go to Morton's or something. Yeah, who knows? And be fancy when you get there. Drink some shit you would never drink.
Well, I have no problem drinking fancy shit.
See, that's the thing. You'll invest in it. And that's what I'm saying. Where we don't invest, that's where we don't see priority. So when we're not investing in things, that's not a priority to us. But that doesn't mean it's actually not a priority to us. Right? Mm-hmm. I would spend money on my daughter quick, fast. If I got it, she got it. But I will sit in the store and contemplate over a pair of $35 jeans. Because I have no value placed there. I don't care. If I can get my outfit as cheap as possible, that's the way I want it.
That's how I like it.
That's how I like it. Exactly. So that's not, the thing is, that's good for us because we're not denying ourselves. That's just who and what we are. But it's different when it's just like, I want that blouse. And it's a really beautiful blouse. And I want it so fucking bad. But it's $127.
Oh, no. I need a coupon. I'm going for the promo code.
And so in an effort to expand your root chakra, I want you to invest in something frivolous.
Okay.
It doesn't got to be over $100 because I understand that's going to push you. $100 is going to push you.
It's going to make my hands sweat.
Yes. And it can't be self-development. because you'll pay for that too. We always pay for stuff because we see trade-offs for that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So it needs to expand you a little bit. Your sacral looks great. Do you ever want to be pregnant? Is the question I'm asking. Okay. Because I was ready to say, there's a door there. Like, it's like a steel door. And it's like, do you want that open? No, that's all. Okay. That's all. That's all I wanted to know. Okay. Because your energy is already shutting that shit down. That's how. But sometimes people can't get pregnant and they have fertility issues and they're wondering why. And I just had to make sure that that's there on purpose.
We need that like an extra lock on there, like some
Okay. Yeah. And everything looks good here, health wise too. Everything looks good here. Solar plexus, everything looks good. It needs some shining, but that's some self work because you feel as though you're not obtaining your goals. This isn't outward. This is straight inward going out. So that's easy to shift, right? I'm gonna shine it up. So if your chest tightens a little bit, it's just me. What's really getting me, well, the heart chakra looks good, but it's murky. Mm-hmm. But I think that's not you're doing. I think that's just where the energy is like getting trapped at. And so I'm going to release that. And so I'm not sure if you've been having like panic or anxiety attacks and chest tightening and things like that. I'm going to open that back up.
Thank you.
So don't be surprised if like you're coughing and like things are coming up. Mullein, if you have some mullein, if you
I have that.
Some
mullein, thinking about making that this morning and on the run, and it's in here saying
your body be knowing, and then we have to make it mean something. Mm-hmm. And if we can't make it mean something, we just be like, oh, that's a passing thought. And it's just like, no, you need mullein. Your body's literally like, you need that bitch.
And I don't know why it's in my office. I think I used to get into the practice of just making a cup and having it.
Right.
Well, and now I'm like, where's that damn tea? It's like a big.
It will definitely keep all this clear. Right. And so you can make that part of your ritual. I like to mold my spirituality into my everyday habits. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So my bath wash usually has sea salt in it, or I have a salt scrub by the tub. And so there are days where I'm doing my self-care and I'm just getting the energy. If it's in the bath stuff, I don't have to intentionally be like, I'm going to do a clearing. It's literally every day I take a shower, it clears my energy, right? So start making your spirituality part of your day-to-day lifestyle, and then it doesn't take so much energy to do, right? Opening up that throat chakra. Your voice has been shut down. What did it? Like you feel as though I can't say what I want to say because it might fuck something up. And so like it's like if I say what I want to say, they might cut off the money or the da-da-da. And so you feel like, what is that?
I don't know what shut it down, but I'm never like a controversial or I stay away from speaking about politics or race or anything like that. Just because I don't want to ruin my brand, you know.
Makes sense. But who are you? At your core, are you the person who don't feel deeply about those things? Which there's no judgment if that is who you are. But are you someone who does feel deeply, but then feel as though I can't articulate how I feel because I built this thing and I don't want to ruin it?
Yes, that part.
So my question to you is, you built yourself a prison of your own accord.
Fabulous.
Right?
Yeah.
It's one thing when we're working for somebody else to go in there and be like, this ain't my shit. I'm gonna shut the fuck up. Not my like I go into work and I'm gonna make my money and I'm gonna go the fuck home. Right? It's different when we built it, but we still can't be ourselves in it.
Right.
Because if someone wouldn't use your business or your services because you're speaking up for rights of other people, do we really want them as a client any fucking way?
Right. You're right. Right.
They have no problems telling you what you are not deserving of. Okay.
Of course.
All these social services, you're a food stamp queen, you no equal health care. They have no problems telling you and denying you of rights. So we have to create the environment to which we thrive. And so you're slowly killing yourself by not being able to articulate who and what you are as a brand, as a person, right? I can understand if politics isn't my brand.
Yeah.
It's not my brand, but you know where I stand too. You know what I'm saying? I'm blackity black.
Yes.
That's just what it's going to be. But then that's how I present myself too.
Right.
And I did lose clients. Right? I left people because they didn't feel at home in my space. But that's not to say that my space wasn't welcoming and at home. It was only abrasive to them.
Right.
Everybody else felt community there. And then I have people who stay. Most of my my white clients are rebels. They're evangelicals. Like they give zero fucks, and I like it that way, right? Because people who can't accept you when you're just speaking on things like equal rights, trans rights, and Black Lives Matter and all those other things, the moment you do something that they don't like, they will discard you.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. It was George.
They will discard you. Yeah, you do all these things to kind of like satiate, but it always feels like you're walking on eggshells.
Yes. Yes.
Because if I say the wrong thing or I slip or I'm this or I'm that, then I can lose. But if your clients know who you are,
mm-hmm.
it comes as no surprise.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Right? And so that's why I cuss. You ain't give me cussing. I'm like, oh, you cuss so much, can you clean up your language? No. Because when I'm on the phone with you, I don't want to have to wash my motherfucking mouth because I curse. Like,
that's your thing.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not the one for you. If it bothers you, that's okay. I'm just not the healer for you. And that's fine. I'm going to curse. You're going to see my titties. Like, because that's what I'm going to do. My private group, they done seeing me naked. Like, but if that bothers you, then I'm not the space for you. Yeah. And that's fine. You don't have to be the safe space for everybody.
Right.
Because what you're denying yourself is the true impact of who you are, the essence of your being. And so now it always feels like you're masquerading. And that's tiresome. To be always on. And so I'm not telling you to get out here and fight the power, but I am telling you to slowly become more of yourself.
Okay.
to tell yourself to stop pretending. I'm going to get rid of it. I'm letting, because you're shrouded. Your energy is totally shrouded right now. So there's this, people can see in, but they can only see what you want them to see.
That's very true.
Right? And so there's like, your energy is like frosted glass, but like some places are clear. Right? And so people are only seeing bits and pieces of you. Why are you scared of them seeing the totality of you?
Because I don't think they're going to see that I'm not as strong as they think I am.
I was ready to ask you, what about yourself are you ashamed of? Because that's the only reason why we hide.
Yeah. What I was like a super badass strong person, and I'm just making shit up as I go along. You know, I'm finding.
So is everybody.
Yes.
So I tell my daughter this: everybody is flying by the seat of their ass.
They're like, they think I have my shit together. I don't have my shit together. There it is. I said it. It's being recorded. I don't have my shit together. I don't even show my husband all of who I am.
Ma'am.
I know. I'm working on it in therapy.
Good. But I understand it because you want to control it.
Mm-hmm.
You want to control what they think about you.
Absolutely.
Even though you don't care. And this is what I say. I care. I just don't care enough to stop what I'm going to do. Right? You know what I'm saying? Like, so people's thoughts about me, if they're negative, that hurts because most of the time that's not my intention at all. Like, I'm truly here in white light. Now, how that translates to people in their interaction with me, you know, sometimes it can trigger people or I can fuck up. I'm not perfect. We're going, you know, we like to think that we are, right? But I know I'm not perfect. So I know I fucked up someplace, some way, shape, or form. So it's just like when I get those critiques, it does hurt. Mm-hmm. But it's not enough to stop me from doing what the fuck I'm going to do. Right? And so you like to say it doesn't matter. Right? But it does.
Oh, it totally does.
And that's why you curate yourself.
Oh, yeah.
I want you to stop curating.
I don't know yourself. I think it's so automatic. Okay.
You know, because you're going to catch yourself. All you got to do is ask yourself, why are we doing this?
Okay.
Start asking yourself why. If it's like, I want to do this thing, but I got to have X, Y, Z first. Ask yourself why. Do I actually have to have that first, or am I trying to control what it looks like? I give people the example of this podcast all the time. Spirit says, start your podcast. I was like, oh, I'm going to have my sofa, I'm going to have this, and it's going to be the lights, and we're going to have the plants, and we're going to have this. And once I get all that shit together, the Spirit was like, you're going to start on Tuesday. I'm like, I don't have any, like, no, I don't have any space. They're like, figure it out. Right? And so those are the things that I want you to do. Start pushing yourself to do it. Your version of unprepared. That does not mean you are unprepared because your bare minimum always meets standard.
Yes.
And you be like, you happy with that? I didn't even really do nothing. Like,
I saw two speeches next week, and I'm like, I'm so unprepared. I haven't looked at my stuff enough. I haven't. And so you're saying I need to just.
If you can look over it, but don't obsess over it.
Oh, because I'm obsessing. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm rewriting it at night. And
because what's going to happen is you're going to get in and your instinct is going to kick in. Because you know what the fuck you're doing.
Yeah. Yeah.
You've been doing it for a long time. You're an expert at it. People are paying you good money to show up as you. You didn't. I'm going to say this, and I'm saying this for Black women. Don't nobody give us shit. So if you have these opportunities, it's because you fucking deserve it. And you probably deserve a lot more than what you're getting.
Yes.
So stop thinking you have this, that you're an imposter of some sort. Again, because they don't give a shit. We work hard for it.
Yeah.
We get exceptional at what we do. So if you are in spaces, it's because you deserve to be there. And I'm saying this for my Black women. If you are in that CEO room, it's because you deserve to be there. And you probably deserve more than what they're giving you. And if you think your salary is really good right now, you probably deserve more. And so this is what I've been petitioning all my Black women to do, is do the minimum.
See, I coach people to do this. I coach my clients, and yes, it's just a difference.
What's happening? We set our own standard. We go in there and we do the absolute fucking most. And since they don't know us, they think that's our standard. And so we burn out trying to maintain it and sustain it. And it's not sustainable. And then we blame them for their expectations when we were the one who set the standard.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, you know, and yes, you know, systemic shit, yes. But in order for us to negate out of the systemic shit, we gotta not accept it.
Yeah.
We gotta just stop participating.
Yeah.
If you don't want to do 200 times more to get half as much, then stop doing it. Because they're not going to change. Like, they're happy with the way things are. You know, you go into a space and you're able to see exactly what's going on and efficiently make it work above and beyond expectations.
Yep, always.
Do minimal. They don't deserve more than what you stated that you were going to provide. Because all that more is doing is seeking validation from people who don't plan on giving it to you. We already gave you the validation and the salary. Get your money. Do what they ask of you. And merely what they ask. Well, my job description says this is what I'm going to do. That I'm here from 9 to 5. 5 o'clock, I'm clocking the fuck out. I'm saying, do your best work between those hours. Yep. Show up and be you. And be great. But do what they told you to do. Not, don't do other people's work. Don't volunteer. Be voluntold. like for real. Take the power back, because I told Jay, as long as you're giving, people gonna take it.
That's true.
There's exceptions, right?
Mm-hmm.
But as long as you're meeting the standard, what the problem is. You know, but that starts here. It's going to be hella uncomfortable, because I still fight productivity. Because I'm like, I want to be able to do what I want to do when I want to do it. But since I'm not on the phone with clients all day, it's just like, are you really doing anything? Like, bitch, you lay in bed all day and watch Golden Girls. Like, bitch. But then you have to ask, like, is my lights on? It's a rampage. Oh, okay. But we doing something. We good.
Yeah.
We good. They got enough unpaid labor out of our lineage. They don't deserve any more. Stop giving it to them. I mean, I'm not going to tell you it's easy, because it's not. Because again, it's just how we were raised. It's just that's part of our beinghood. Strong black women aren't often strong. We appear that way because we have no other choice. because who else is going to save us?
Right. That's why I'm wearing my Phenomenal Women shirt.
Yeah. You wouldn't happen to be like the eldest daughter, are you?
No, I'm the baby.
Really? Because I am the eldest daughter. And so, like, I had to be on it. Like, helping. Like, so when I grew up, it was like, I don't even want kids for real. Like, I don't even want the responsibility of them motherfuckers. Because, like, I had my sister, and I know what that felt like. Right? But as Black women, I think we are conditioned to show up for everybody. Our family, our spouses, our kids, our communities, our jobs. You know, we're the ultimate of nurturers. We're so welcoming. We want to help everybody. We want to get everybody to succeed, all the while having no one to prop us up, or not feeling safe enough to say, yo, I need no help. Because everybody assumes we have it.
Yes.
But they will make that assumption so long as we're not expressing that we don't. And I'm talking to myself. As I'm talking to you. That's often happens. Right? Unless we say, I'm hurting. Unless we say, you know, this is overwhelming. Unless we say all those things, we won't ever get help.
Yeah.
Okay. That's why that whole check on your strong friends, they'll probably tell you that they're good.
Oh yeah, all the time.
Because I've done it.
I'm fine.
How are you feeling? I'm all right. Flaring like a motherfucker. And paying like a motherfucker, but I know there's nothing you can do about it. So I'm not going to express it to you.
Right.
So it's just like, I'm good. Because what are you like, I'm in a bed with pain, but what are you going to like do? Nothing. So I'm going to keep that to myself and I'm going to suffer by myself.
Mm-hmm.
And that gets lonely. And when we feel like nobody loves us, and when we feel like nobody cares about us, and when we keep all that in, and then there's a resentment that starts to grow because I'm doing all this by myself. And again, it starts with us. It's one thing to be denied.
Yeah.
When we voice. It's another thing to never voice and get upset that they don't know you're hurt.
Right.
So we're doing it and hiding the hurt and the pain.
Yes.
Like you said, your husband has not even seen the totality of you. So, like, how can he support what he can't see?
I'm getting better, Ty. I'm getting better.
Look, it's a process.
It is.
It's a process. Because
Perfection.
that's the way we were raised.
Yeah.
We don't rely on nobody. If you want it, get out and get it. That's how my mama raised me.
Mm-hmm.
We can't rely on nobody. People fuck you over. Don't leave your livelihood in the hands of no motherfucking body. You get to control your livelihood. Stand up on your shit. Stand 2 toes down. But when we get in relationships that we want to be healthy, loving, and supportive, that mentality doesn't do us justice in those spaces. And that could be friendships, that can be intimate relationships, that can be, workspaces. Usually corporate spaces aren't really safe spaces for us, so I understand not being vulnerable in those spaces because they usually take it and they fuck you with it.
Very true.
But I'm talking about in your relationships. We can't have a healthy relationship, whether it's with our kids, whether it's with our partners, whether it's with our parents, without being authentic. Because they can't support us in it. Now, if they fail to support you in your authenticity, that's something totally different.
Yeah, that's a whole nother.
But we can't talk. Yes. But we can't show up masquerading and then seeking healing in our authenticity. Cause they don't know how to navigate that.
Yeah.
Cause what they're seeing from you, they believe is authentic. And so when we're like, that ain't even who I am. Like, why would you think I would do something like that? Cause that's how you presented yourself to me. Yeah. Like, what do you mean? Cause they don't see all this up here.
Yeah.
They only see what we're projecting out to them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so if you don't have it, articulate that. If you need a day of rest, articulate that. If you're scared to be authentic with your spouse, then you're with the wrong person.
I'm not scared. No, I'm saying, let me just.
I say this as a whole, right? And I say this as to get you to open up.
Yeah.
Because if you're scared and you think that he can't hold your authenticity, then you're with the wrong person.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if you're like, no, I'm with the right person, then what you scared of?
And that's what he says. Like, I've even said, I'm scared to show you who I am. And he's like, well, where do you think I'm going? Like, I'm not going anywhere.
As long as we locked in, don't none of that shit matter. You know? So as long as y'all two locked in, what other people think about it don't matter. You should be able to have one space, at least one, where you can unzip yourself. And I'm going to say two, because you're business too. Now, I understand there are certain things you're not going to speak on, because that ain't your business, right? I understand it, because like I said, I'm not political in my branding.
Right.
But they know where I stand. Just by the stories I tell, how I tell it, they know I'm an ally. Shit, I'm gonna be at the Pride events. I made sure you're gonna see me at these Pride events. Me and my baby, we going.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's not Tyra, you gay? No. Yeah, that's what I stand. Anybody being authentic, I'm gonna go support them. And that's my baby upstairs, and she's just like, this is her first Pride.
Oh.
And I'm like, be who you are, baby. Be who you are. Be in your pride. Be who you are. If you want to dress mask at the Pride, we're going to dress mask. If you want to, whatever we want to do, I'm there. And you're going to be safe because I'm there.
Mm.
And so you honor safe spaces for everybody else but yourself. Create safe spaces for yourself. If you don't feel safe, stop going to those spaces. Right?
Yep.
And so your business should be a curated space for your authenticity, whatever that looks like. So just become more and more of yourself. Even if that is as your sexuality, like in terms of how you present yourself. Because you're going to see my titties. Like, you don't hit this DV. Like, I am going to DV
my titties. Your titties are nice. I don't think I know what
I don't tape them up. My mom be like, you going to put tape on? For what? To be uncomfortable? For other motherfuckers to look at me? No, I'm not taking these motherfuckers up. You're going to get these saggy ass titties exactly the way that they are.
That's what I love about you. You just literally let it all hang out.
But it took work. So I am not going to pretend that was my always.
Okay.
It took work to be like, I got to love this.
Yeah.
Because if I'm waiting for other people to love on it, I'll be waiting forever. So when I got sick, I was like, you know what? I'm not happy. I found the places that I was not happy in, and I did my due diligence to change it. And a lot of that was, like you said, getting off the treadmill that I put myself on. I could have got off at any point, but I kept telling myself, there's only a little bit further to go. There's only a little bit further to go. But it's a fucking circle.
It is.
And it's a fucking hamster wheel. It was unending until I hopped off.
Yeah.
Because there is no end point. Because if the end goal is money, you're always going to want and need more.
Yep.
So the end goal can't be money if you want to get off the hamster wheel. That's why the first question I ask is, why are we doing all this? Because that's the end goal. And once we could say, I feel solid in that, then we can go to just cruise control. And cruise control is where we ultimately desire to be, which is that level of everything just working. I'm not putting out extra energy. I'm not doing it. I'm just sustaining and maintaining.
Love it.
And so your energy is calling for sustaining and maintaining right now. Because you already said, I'm burnt out, I'm tired, Your energy is already calling for it. So how can we give your energy what it desires? Evergreen.
What's that?
Evergreen products. Like, how can we give your energy what it's asking for?
Yeah.
It's asking to baseline this shit. It's saying, we're doing too much. I don't want to do this anymore. And we can keep going if we want, but that burnout, when we push past that, is never pretty.
It's never good. Never good.
But yeah, it's going to knock you on your ass. It's going to start to kick you in your chest. Because when your body says it's not going to do it, it's fucking not going to do it. And so once your brain says, I don't think I want to do this no more, your body is not long behind. So like, that's why I say start listening, because that body is going to tell you when you go to start doing things, you're going to feel extra tired. It's because you don't want to fucking do it no more. And so if you keep trudging and pushing and trudging and pushing, eventually it's going to be like, shit, okay, we just going to stop the body because she's not listening to us. Yeah, it happened to me. I started having seizures, literally. Never a seizure in my life. Then one day just to the floor having seizures because my body was like, this bitch ain't gonna stop. We're going to have to put a stop to her. And they did. And it came full fucking stop. And I still push. Yeah. Because that's what we do. We overcome, we adapt. But I didn't have to adapt. I had to become something totally different. And so your body's over adapting. It wants to evolve. Yeah. Right? And so we are going to push you into evolution. And so get comfortable being uncomfortable in who you are. Oh, and this for this season a big. Try different things. Try hula hooping. Try roller skating. Try all these things that look and feel good to you that you've denied yourself access to for whatever reason. And see who Joriel truly is. And we don't have to wait for retirement to do that.
Right.
We can do that right now. Like, who am I? What do I like? What do I enjoy? Outside of working, outside of being a wife, outside of being a coach, do you like frilly things? Do you like fragrances? Do you like all those things? And then pour into that shit so that your soul is happy. Because right now, your soul is upset, and plus you're doing shit you don't want to do. So now everything feels like a task. We can do shit we don't want to do and have our soul be happy, but we can't have an unhappy soul and do shit we don't want to do. One of them got to be, so we're either going to do shit that we want to do and then be like, my soul isn't really fulfilled. We can sustain doing shit that we like to do on a daily basis because that will eventually fuel the soul, right? But when our soul isn't on board, can't shit move, ain't shit gonna happen. It's just gonna feel like despair. Yeah. It's gonna feel like I don't know whether I'm coming or going. And so when that soul reaches that point, we have to be like, okay, so what do you want? And so I am going to do your soul reading on the extended one. I'm going to tell you what your soul is looking for. So we're going to say, at this point, we're going to say bye to YouTube. If you want the extended version, you can go to patreon.com. Let's Get Blunt podcast. And we have the extended versions as well as monthly movement and pop-up energy readings and healing sessions and things like that. You can become part of the frequency. If you become part of the fold, you get access to Manifestation 101 and things of that nature. And Manifestation 101, the frequency is going to be coming out really soon. I'm working on it. It's a workbook. And I am working